What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 255 of the Nonsense Review. I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello everybody!
Now, last week, if you recall, my fact was made up bullshit in order to put egg on Rick's face. This week, my fact doesn't exist because I couldn't be bothered, even though 255 is a really easy one to look up.
Yeah, it's 1 below 256, and therefore is the highest number you can go in hexadecimal if you start with a 0.
This is why I didn't bother researching stuff.
Yeah, well, because, 255 is a nice normal number that you will encounter quite a lot if you play old games.
That's very true, annoyingly. Anyway, as I said, I'm Devon, this is Rick. This episode is pre-recorded, so there'll be no news stories this week, nothing we did this week, and just pre-warning, if you didn't watch last week's episode, we're pretty much going on a little break for a couple of weeks. I think this is the last episode that we'll have for a little bit.
Yes, hello from the past! I am elsewhere right now.
Yes, so what are we doing today? Today we are wrapping up our banned month with banned episodes of cartoons, and today we're doing quite a fun one, as it were. We are doing The Fuhrer's Face, a Donald Duck cartoon. If you don't know what this is, I can promise you've probably seen the infamous gif of Donald Duck doing a Heil Hitler Sieg Heil salute.
Yeah, and all I can think of is the line from Itchy and Scratchy Land of Roger Meyer Sr. was beloved by everyone, and in turn, he loved almost all the peoples of the world. Until he did his controversial cartoon of Nazi supermen are our superiors.
Cool. This is kind of the opposite of that, though.
Yeah, because Donald Duck does not like the Fuhrer.
No.
As noted by the title of Right in the Fuhrer's Face.
And I will say this as well. Here's a fun fact about me, Rick. I can't spell Fuhrer without looking it up.
Yeah, so the UE is if you don't have the umlaut on your keyboard, which we don't, but you can put an alt code to make a U with an umlaut.
Oh, so I'm not insane for dropping the E.
No. So if you don't have an umlaut, then it is just, well, even if you do, it's that sound. It's Fuhrer.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, do you want some background information?
Yeah, let's go.
Alrighty. Originally airing on the 1st of January 1943, this came out more or less during the USA peak, having joined World War II. Why do I mention this? If the title of the cartoon didn't give it away, it's an important piece of historical context.
Yeah, so the Fuhrer was still kicking about, and this was when America decided to pick a side.
Well after, in fact. They joined the war in 1942, might have been 41.
Yeah, it's 42. So this is a year after this is the year after they joined the war properly.
Yeah, so they are in. No fucking around, they've picked a side. For those of you who don't know, by the way, America was very much neutral at the start of World War II. The reason why they got out of the Great Depression is more or less arms dealing to both sides.
Yes, absolutely. And it was only because they were attacked explicitly by one that they decided, right, we're siding with the others.
Pretty much. But yes, now, why was this banned? It's a bit of a weird one, to be honest, because it wasn't actually banned. It's odd, because the purpose of the film itself was 100% propaganda, both against the Axis forces and to encourage people to purchase war bonds at the time, which, by the way, if you don't know what war bonds are, here's a really fucking simplified explanation. War bonds are effectively ways of giving your government money in order to fund the war. You would purchase war bonds, and the idea is you would get your money back once the war was over and the bonds would be repurchased. Probably for less than you paid, but yeah.
Yeah, it's basically shares in your own government for the purpose of funding a war.
Yeah, and America during World War II pretty much chose the war bond route because they were like, fuck, if we put taxes up, our people will hate us.
Yeah, so they made it a choice, but they very definitely incentivized that choice through shame.
Through shame and propaganda and all sorts of methods. But back to the cartoon itself, because it had a certain purpose that was no longer needed, like the Nazi Germany, Japan, and the Axis powers were gone, defeated. I don't even know if I don't think they were called the Axis powers in World War II. I think that was a World War I thing, but it's a nice term to use.
Yeah.
Because they were dealt with and you no longer needed to buy war bonds, Disney pretty much just kept it locked up because there was no point in showing it anymore. That is, in fact, it didn't see the light of day again until 2004, good 60 plus years after the initial viewing, with the DVD release of Walt Disney Treasures, specifically Walt Disney on the Front Lines, which was a collection of all of their World War II cartoons. So, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Weirdly weirdly, another incident occurred in like 2010 where a local Russian court for a certain city, I can't tell you the city's name, it's a Russian name and I don't know how to pronounce it, considered it deemed it extremist material and sent someone to prison for 6 months for sharing it on the internet. Only for a different local court for a different city to say that's bullshit and overturned the ruling in 2016.
Cheese and biscuits.
Yeah, it's very weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, I did look it up. Axis was the name of the of that alliance at that time.
Oh, so did we just retroactively call the alliance in World War One the Axis as well?
I think kind of technically, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the Axis was the actual name. It was the Berlin-Rome Axis, which then eventually included Tokyo.
Yeah, the Axis powers was because in World War One it was Austria, Germany, and Italy.
Yeah,
I think. But listen, I'm not the best World War One, World War Two guy. Ask someone who knows their shit. I'm very broad strokes at best when it comes to that particular period of time.
Yeah.
As for the cartoon itself, though, as I mentioned earlier, we've probably all seen that gif by now of Donald Duck doing a Sieg Heil. That's from this cartoon. Interestingly enough, this is the only Donald Duck cartoon to ever win an Oscar.
Okay.
It won the Oscar for the Best Animated Short Film for the 15th ever Oscars.
Yeah, and also the other little thing of Donald Duck being a fella in the Navy. This is like prime time of him actually getting something done as a Navy officer.
He's not, though. Not in
Is
this
he
cartoon. In this cartoon, he's not part of the Navy.
Okay.
But it's fine, we'll get to that. Rick, this cartoon is about 8 minutes long. I've got a question for you. How many times do you think the words Heil Hitler are said?
0.
Well, it's higher than that.
Okay. 14?
Okay, cool. I was going to say, I'll give you a second guess. 14's not too bad. It's 33 and a half.
Okay, so someone gets interrupted halfway through.
So, yeah. Last little tidbit for you. It was originally titled Donald Duck in Nutsyland, which is such a fucking fake-sounding title, isn't it?
Yeah, but also it's kind of how certain Americans pronounce Nazis.
I don't think that's correct, Rick.
It's the Nazis!
Okay. The only reason this was changed was because of the success of the song performed by one Spike Jones and his City Slickers, which was, of course, called Der Fuhrer's Face.
Yeah, sweet.
I'm not going to go into detail here, but I did go down a very slight rabbit hole of this Spike Jones fella. Turns out he was basically like Weird Al before Weird Al. He would just parody songs.
Cool, I like that.
But back in those days, parodying a song was more or less performing the song with slightly different lyrics and putting a bunch of bells and whistles in there.
Well, that's kind of what Weird Al did. He just has higher production values these days.
Oh, I mean, I'm thinking back to it, Rick, but like Another One Bites the Bus is just Another One Bites the Dust on the accordion with different lyrics, so I guess you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I guess Weird Al shines more in the fact that he's got the parody videos as well, and he really does not hold back in those.
Yeah, he really does go all in on the production values of those.
Case in point, there's the infamous story of Amish Paradise where he lip syncs backwards specifically for a shot to make sense.
Yeah,
that's insane. But yes, Rick, do you have anything to add here?
No. Other than the fact that I've never watched this, so it'll be new to me.
Neither have I, but I think we've both seen plenty of stills from this, even if we don't necessarily realise it. But yes, if you've got nothing to add, then Rick, for the benefit of me and for the audience, let us know what we're doing and count us in.
We're doing the Donald Duck episode of Der Fuhrer's Face. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Filmed in glorious Technicolor. Oh yes, it's done by RKO Theatre, Productions.
Sure, okay. Der Fuhrer's Face. Oh, look at these. So it's actually pretty good for little bits of... Oh,
what
okay.
the fuck? That was... Ooh,
Yeah.
Didn't expect fucking racism like that. Oh. Why is the Japanese fella singing about how Hitler's good?
Yeah.
Oh no! I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't know there was the extremely yellow Japanese man. Why is he on an army base in Germany?
I want to point out this is an extended dream sequence.
Okay, that's why it's Nazi o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you don't know anything about the cartoon, but Jesus Christ, that's so funny, but it shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? No.
Yeah, where your cuckoo clock is the Fuehrer.
Okay, so we got Mussolini, Hitler, and would it be Hirohito?
I'm assuming so.
Now, that's really interesting about those trio is obviously Hitler and Mussolini didn't live after the Second World War. Hirohito did, and he visited Disneyland in like the 60s.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
he
that be
died
fucking...
in like 1989.
Wouldn't that be so fucking weird?
Yeah, like it's like actually relatively recent memory of the war back then.
Yeah. So, again, the important historical context here is why is he having so little food? It's because rationing was in full force, obviously, for pretty much everyone in the 40s.
Yeah, and that's why his bread's made of wood.
His bread's made of wood, he doesn't have bacon and eggs, he's just tasting the flavour of it. He's reusing a tea bag for the 7 millionth time for his coffee.
And he's required to read Mein Kampf.
Yeah. So this is the two-part propaganda message they were trying to get. The first one is, look how bad it is in Nazi Germany. And the other one being like, buy war bonds. Please fucking buy war bonds.
Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Ooh!
Nazi land. See?
$48 hours a day, you say?
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to.
Whew.
That was kind of cute.
It's so annoying because you almost don't want to laugh, but it is really funny. You know?
Yeah. In hindsight, yeah.
Jesus
that's
Christ.
That's why he has to say it so often.
We got like 12 just there.
Oh, he has to do an upside down one. Man, for some reason, I'm reminded of Dolph from Alfred Jonathan Quack.
I'm not familiar.
I might have to show it to you at some point. Oh, his ass can hail.
Now, obviously they're doing it for comedic effect, but this is more or less what total war means for a country. It's like,
yeah,
your factory job is now, oh, you used to make cars? Cool, now you're making bullets.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Ooh.
Schweinhund. Pig dog.
We've got a mutual friend who likes
yes.
to call people fucking swines, and I don't know why he does it.
It's because it's a relatively inoffensive thing to call someone while also, making your displeasure known.
That is quite fun animation, the way they're making it look like a swastika.
It is, yeah.
You gotta admit, it's beautifully animated.
It is. Because, they'd have been doing colour for quite some time at this point.
Yeah. Okay, the annoying thing about this scene is that there are managers like this.
Yeah. That they want more speed and less quality.
At least managers can't shoot you for saying no.
No. And, Donald is not having a very good time.
What? I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, we weren't expecting a Fantasia sequence.
Oh, fucking, yeah, Fantasia. Fantasia, or that horrible scene that scars everyone as a child from Dumbo.
Yeah.
That bullet looks a lot like a penis.
It does. Like, a lot of these bullet designs actually look like something that you can make into a tattoo.
Yeah, but you shouldn't.
No.
See, look, he's an American-loving boy.
Yeah, he's even got American trousers. So if he pisses the bed, he's going to piss in the American flag.
That's the half, by the way. You could probably reuse this cartoon now, with this ending scene, when you think about the imagery.
Yeah.
Wow, surprisingly, despite the subject matter, that was actually an incredibly entertaining cartoon.
It was. I realized like a third of the way through that I was smiling the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, we even broached it. Go on, sorry.
We're far enough removed from the actual Nazis of the 40s that we can look back and, enjoy things of the time that were made to entertain.
But it wasn't made to entertain, it was made to villainize the Nazis. Like, I think a lot of people do this weird thing where they look at old cartoons and see there's Nazis in it full stop, and they're like, oh, it must be bad. Can't watch Indiana Jones anymore.
Yeah. But like you say, it really did shed light on how bad the not even the rank and file, just the regular citizens of the countries had it, having to bend over backwards just to support a war effort that they may or may not agree with. They just have to kowtow to greater authority.
It's a weird one because there's some historical context, specifically with World War II, where it gets glossed over a lot by like armchair historians. And again, I'm not a historian. This is just stuff I've picked up. Might be incorrect. Feel free to correct me. I don't care. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Someone needs to tell you that for you to learn. But my understanding is, like, it's something that Hitler was really against at the beginning of the war, or the Second World War, that is, of being in a total war situation, because that's what Germany did in World War One, and they lost, and Hitler was part of that losing effort. He was a scout for the German army, I believe. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on that. So that's the same reason why he didn't like using gas in warfare, because he was the victim of a gas attack. It's very weird how your personal experiences can influence certain decisions. Yeah, he was against total war. Germany actually didn't ramp up to total war until super late comparatively into the war.
Yeah. They if they had their way, they would have individual conflicts where they would just win and then move on.
It's also one of the reasons why a lot of the upper echelon of the armed forces of the Nazi army wanted to get rid of Hitler because they were like, our production sucks. We need more shit. But Hitler wanted everyone who wasn't on the front lines to not experience what it was like during the war times because it kept morale high.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got Britain over here fucking rationing since 1939.
Yeah.
Hiding all of our children in the countryside because there's no point in bombing there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's further context that we need to give for us as podcasters talking about this. When we're taught about the wars, we're taught about it from a British perspective. We don't really know what America was doing because it was a small part of the curriculum. Everything we picked up about what America and Germany, fucking even France, who are our nearest neighbours, were doing during the Second World War, is stuff that we opt to learn in our own time. It's not something that they feel they need to teach us.
Yeah, like they told us a little bit about the Vichy government that got set up after France was essentially conquered, but also that any French fighters that came to Britain were like really lauded as heroes.
It's something that gets glossed over a lot, where we really not herald. That's the wrong word. We really lump a lot of praise on our Royal Air Force, and it's always forgotten that a big section of our Air Force during World War II, specifically the RAF, was made up of Polish, French, and Canadian air fighters that effectively volunteered because they were already servicemen in their own countries. If you were French or Polish, guess what? You can't fly no more because you're owned by a different country. So they fled to Britain and they were like, cool, can we join the fucking Air Force here, please?
Yeah, get our licks in.
Yeah, there's a really I know I'm waffling on, but it's really is interesting stuff in my opinion. There's an interesting anecdote where the Polish flyboys actually joined the French Air Force, but the French had a different design of plane.
Right.
So the French Air Force went, okay, we cannot send these Polish air fighters up in the air. They don't know how to fly. Because to them, they didn't know how to fly because the way they started the planes were just different enough that the Polish fighters couldn't start the planes to begin with.
Yeah,
and then,
it's the kind of thing that you'd get over in a week.
Yeah,
if you with a bit of training. But yeah, it's so mystifying in hindsight. But oh well.
Now I want to point out, I don't know how much they would have been able to swing the conflict over France because that was mostly a land-based conflict anyway. But,
yeah, it was like a steel onslaught.
I mean, it was blitzkrieg with tanks not being supported by infantry, which at the time was unheard of.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sure I'm talking a lot about World War II for someone who says he doesn't know a lot about World War II. So let's move on. Rick, what did you think of the cartoon?
Yeah, as you said, it was very entertaining as long as you know the context, in that it was there to villainize the Nazis, give you a bit of information about the human cost and how much it would suck to have to live with that, and like why it was such a totalitarian thing, and you got the relief at the end that Donald, he's a good old American boy. So yeah, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good cartoon. You could very clearly see what the message was. I didn't see a lot of advertising for war bonds, but I guess just showing that this is how bad it will be if Nazi Germany takes over the world, aka us. So maybe that's the angle of just like, yeah, this is, if we lose, this is our fate. So buy war bonds so we don't lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did a pretty good job of villainizing the Axis powers. It's weird that my biggest criticism is how awful the depiction of the Japanese man was.
Yes, we're going to get to that very shortly.
Again, historical context is needed, isn't it? Because for those of you who don't know, internment camps for US citizens of not even necessarily Japanese heritage, just do you look like you could be Japanese, you're going to this camp. Like, weirdly enough, the only famous person I can think of who's very, not vocal, but can share experiences about it is, I think, George Takei.
Yes, I was going to say, he remembers his time in the internment camps.
Because he was a child at the time as well.
Yeah, so he was born in America.
Yeah, it's very upsetting. Like, it's weird, isn't it? Because I can see the angle of like, we want to do it for their own good because random citizens are attacking random Asian-looking people because they think they're part of the enemy. But on the flip side of things, did you have to make the conditions so fucked up then? Yep.
They were just the same concentration camps, just without the gas chambers.
Well, that's just it. It was the problem with the term concentration camp is that people seem to forget that concentration camp just means a camp of, this is where we're concentrating these effectively prisoners.
Yeah. High density compound prisons.
Yeah, the bit that gets glossed over is in Nazi Germany, most of the concentration camps were also death camps.
Yep.
But people don't want to say that for some reason. So, it's why the distinction needs to be made that they weren't mass murdering Asian people in America, but they were mass interning them.
Yeah.
It's a horrible time of history in general, really. But if you want to know more on that subject, then please look it up from people who are more knowledgeable. I don't know how in-depth George Takei gets into it, but I know he's got like several biographies.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
But I imagine a lot of those are more focused on his time as Mr. Sulu from Star Trek.
Yeah, the more fun things about being George Takei.
Yeah. But yeah, there's plenty of great sources that you can find on the internet. Like, even if you go on Wikipedia and look at Wikipedia's sources and then go, this is from this book, look into those books. Wikipedia is a great resource if you want just a surface level knowledge of bullshit.
Yeah, which is pretty much all I'm ever going to have about history because I didn't even do a GCSE.
Well, I did, but I failed.
Sure.
I did, and I failed because GCSE history has got nothing to do with learning history and is all about answering essay questions.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, I think it was a decent cartoon. It really was. It feels bad. Not bad, exactly, but it feels almost wrong to laugh at the gags. But they are gags. They're gags at the Nazis' expense. Like, the Nazis were horrible, awful people and will always be historically, like, one of the worst types of regimes in history. But it's okay to characterize them, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's okay to make fun of evil people, especially when you're a long way removed from them.
Yeah. Although, again, I want to point out that the fact that the Statue of Liberty's shadow was making a silhouette of Hitler is a weirdly poignant image in 2026.
It is a bit.
But anyway, let's get to the fucking brass tacks of our usual wind down, shall we, Rick? Do you have a standout favourite moment?
I liked all the little tiny salutes that were happening from things that weren't characters. My favourite one was probably the train whistle.
That was a really good one. I enjoyed that too.
Yeah, because like it, the thing that was like the signal just went up like a saluting arm.
Yeah.
Whereas the little cutout looked like a mouth that was shouting. Yeah, that was a really good like bit of imagery right there.
Fun fact for you, Rick: there is one branch of the military that didn't adopt the Heil Hitler salute.
Was it the Air Force?
No, because that was done by fucking I forgot his name. Not Rommel. It's number 2. Oh,
Goebbels, Goering.
Goering, there you go. Yeah, because that's the annoying thing as well, is Goebbels and Goering always get mixed up in my head because their names are very similar.
Yeah, they've got G in it.
Yeah, it was Goering. It was in charge of the Air Force, at least at the beginning. No, it was actually in the Navy.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot. Okay, most of the ship captains, most notably the captain of the Bismarck, refused to do the Nazi salute and told all his men, "No, you're part of the military. You salute like the military."
Sure. Okay.
Just an interesting tidbit for you.
Sweet. But yes, you have a favourite moment?
Yeah, if we're going for favourite visual gags, I really did. I liked how they. This is gonna sound, it sounds fucked up out of context, but in context, it's funny. When they've got Donald Duck in front of the picture of the Alps and he's dancing, but his dance is just flip flopping the swastika over and over. I found that quite funny.
Yeah.
This was very much a cartoon about visual gags.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can't only talk about the good, we also have to talk about the bad. Do you have a weakest link?
It was the Japanese man.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I wasn't expecting that, and yeah, that's a good reason why you probably shouldn't show it quite so willy-nilly these days.
Again,
at least without the old disclaimer of this was written at a time with different values.
And again, it's not like the caricatures of the Germans or the Italians were any better, it's just they didn't talk.
No. Yeah, they were just part of the ensemble singing. But yes, the Japanese man being physically yellow, having his little slitty eyes and just talking like that, it was rather unfortunate. And it makes sense, because Japan was, of everybody, it was America's number one nearest enemy.
Yeah, it was the reason, they were the reason why America joined World War II. And it was pretty much just happenstance that they were allied with Germany and Italy, that America also opened up a theatre in Europe.
Yeah. Like, we could very definitely have had the opposite situation in history, but oh well. How about you? Do you have a weakest link, and is it the same guy?
It's really hard to think of anything other than the really racist Japanese caricature.
Yeah.
If you want to rewind back to the beginning of the episode, because it happened almost immediately as we started watching, where I went, "Oh no," when we saw him, and then he started talking, and it's just like a second, "Oh no."
Yep.
Yeah. And they get you with a fucking cross combo and a half.
Yeah. Oh boy. But that said, like the first few moments of the episode were both of us just listening to the content of the song, and because of that, we weren't talking for the first like 15 seconds because we were just like listening to like them talking about Goebbels and Goering and all that.
I was trying to listen to the lyrics weirdly.
Yeah. I was actually also trying to absorb the information that they were giving us in the gag song.
Yeah. But yeah, that brings us to the actual closing question, the all-important one. Do you have an MVP today?
Ooh, giving it to Donald feels a bit like a bit of a cop-out.
Is it a cop-out when he's the only character in this show? Poor voice actor just having to stand in the booth and say Heil Hitler with the Donald Duck voice 700 times.
Yeah, because he would have had to have said it way more than the 33 and a half that we got through.
Like, he'd have to say it a bunch just to get that exhausted in between words, you know?
Yeah. So I think it's got to be the animators, because there were so many good visual gags. Like, this is one of those things where you can't just listen to it. You really have to watch it, because and you will be treated when you do.
It's honestly, like, I cannot believe this is a cartoon from the early 40s.
Yeah, because there's so many, because I thought the same about the Tex Avery stuff that we did, because that was also, like, pretty old.
You're so right.
Pretty old, and like, there's so much care and attention gone into doing things by hand back in these days that it's just so worthy of respect.
I know it's a lot shorter and it's not serialized, so they don't have to do an episode a week or anything. But compare this to, like, the 60s version of Scooby-Doo, and it fucking pisses on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, animators for me. How about you? Do you have an MVP for today?
Yeah, I'm glad you gave it to the animators. They really did deserve a nod. But I'm actually going to give it to Spike Jonze and his City Slickers.
Yeah, for the song.
Yeah, it was really good. I know I keep saying really good instead of great. That's how I talk. Fuck off. You ever notice yourself using certain words over and over, and you hate yourself the more you realise it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, Spike Jonze and the City Slickers did a wonderful job with the song. They didn't write the song; it was another person, but they performed it very well. It went very well with the animations. So it's kind of weird. Between the band and the animation team, they really fucking knocked it out of the park. Not to poo-poo Donald or his voice actor here.
Yeah. Like the band in the animation was also very evocative as well. They had some really cool designs for goofy military men.
Yeah, again, just ignore the Japanese fella.
Yeah. But they all had individually unique silhouettes, which again you wouldn't really get these days.
No, that's true. You'd copy and paste that shit.
Yeah.
And this was all hand drawn too, man. It's just so fucking it blows the mind that people were able to do this, and now people wonder why they call you a hack if you use AI.
Yeah.
Because this used to be how you had to do it, and guess what? It looked better back then, and you didn't have to steal a bunch of people's work to do it.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to drain a lake the size of that could fucking give water to 5 African villages just to draw your shitty picture of Rouge with big tits.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I think it was a pretty good cartoon all in all, and it seems that you agree. Let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of the Fuehrer's Face, the Donald Duck cartoon from the 40s. Should we look at other World War II propaganda cartoons in the future? I'm kind of curious if that's something people would want.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see at least. Although I don't think we're going to get anything quite as lovingly made by as this was. So it might be a month of misery if we do that.
I mean, Rick, there's an entire DVD that just has World War II Disney cartoons, so I think you're wrong on that one.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and there's at least like 12 episodes on that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, let us know in the comment section down below on the YouTubes about that, on that front, what you thought of the show. Were we being too harsh or too lenient? Like, we could be, we don't know. Sometimes we have biases that even we don't know we have. That being said, we also know that not all of you have got a comment section to talk to us in on. Instead, you can send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
And a huge thank you if you made it to the end of this episode. We do appreciate you. And just a reminder for the 100th time that we are taking a short hiatus. This is more for the MP3 people, the audio listeners, because we'll still post a few things on YouTube just as fun little things, so there is stuff for you to watch. But if you're listening on the audio platforms, sorry, we're taking a break for a couple of weeks.
But yeah, thanks as always, everybody. As always, you're our favourite people, and it's going to be a goodbye from me.
And it's going to be a goodbye from him. Goodbye.